once again, this time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
Good morning, Southern Fried Podcast fans, and all you people out there in Cornbread Nation, breadheads. Welcome to a group that can appreciate your breadheadedness. Mr. Cordell, how are you this morning, Davey? You're Davey in the AM.
Yeah, Dave. I was Dave in the AM. I'm Davey in the AM. My sister, my family all calls me Davey. So she said, "You ought to change it to Davey." They like that. So I said, "That sticks." That's kind of become my handle. I just kind of like it. And hey, it's time change weekend. Yay! Let's get excited about it.
Hey, we lose an hour this weekend.
No, you fall back. You gain.
We've got to get up earlier in the day.
Oh, quit whining. Quit whining.
You're going to lose an hour's sleep this weekend. No.
How are you going to lose an hour's sleep?
You gain an hour. It's in the spring that you lose an hour.
Yeah. See, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
Still, it messes everything up. I'll be glad when they kick that little idea there to the curb. And just stay with one time. My goodness.
I think that probably goes way back to and you should be close at heart to all this. I think it's to farming.
Yeah, it does.
To get that extra daylight so they could get them crops, get the fields and stuff, late season stuff, all that. I think that's a big part of it, but I know people who don't like it. They says it messes them up, but
I think it messes the crops up when they lose those hours or gain those hours. I think it just messes the crops up that are out in the field. They don't know whether they should go ahead and keep going or not. Most of them just wither up and die.
I think there are some that don't use it, but I think it just gives people something else to gripe about, honestly.
Yeah, and you're perky on Monday mornings too.
Well, I'm going to be more than that this Monday. I'm going to really go in. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to poll people. I'm going to see if I can find anybody at work that will be positive towards it. I'm going to be positive.
You're going to go in there one Monday morning. You're going to jump out of your car, pinging around like Pee Wee Herman on crack or something, and going running in there. Hey, welcome, happy Monday, and they're going to be lined up with a firing squad. Happy Monday.
I think actually they look forward to it. People draw off your energy. They really do. There's always going to be that one or two people that want to go postal on you, as I say, but because they don't like sound. I remember I worked with a guy once. He didn't like he couldn't stand people to yell, and he was telling this guy one day. He was a goofy kind of guy. He was funny, and he was hollering at him. He said he yelled at him about something. He said, "Quit yelling at me." He didn't like loud sounds, and he's just goofing off. And the guy had like this Yogi Bear face, He's got this goofy forever grin. He's looking at me. He don't get it, and the guy's getting mad. And the guy looks at me, and he's like, will you tell him to quit yelling at me? He says, I've about had enough. And I said, I told the guy, I went over, I said, I would, I think I'd stop if I was you right now. He goes, well, I'm just having fun. And I said, yeah, but he's not. I said, he's about ready to come off the lift truck. He's about ready to come off the lift truck and rearrange your face. And I said, just let it go, dude. And he looks at him, he looks at me, and he finally said, he's serious, ain't he? I said, as a heart attack. Let him go, man. Just let it go. Some people kind of quirky. I'd say there's some people like that. in the mornings, they go in a store. I mean, I see them. They have that look like, leave me alone.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure there are. And sometimes I might be one of them. Just saying, just throwing it out there. But you know what? I can deal. I can
Um, I,
handle.
I don't know if you saw the video I sent you yesterday. You'll have to review that this morning. I would not, we would not put it on air, of the guy
Oh,
at
I
the
did
voting
see that.
precinct. Yeah, and there's a lot to unpack there, but I would. There was a couple of places like that, and I can tell you that scene would never happen the way that rolled out at the precincts I work at. Never. That there was just a lot of. I would just say for the people that didn't see it, you can look it up. Apparently, the guy does have campaign hat on. Uh, and I encountered this yesterday. I had a guy that was wearing a hat with a candidate on it. I met him at the door. I was the greeter, and I just reminded him that he couldn't come in with that hat on. And I said, I just, toss it in the truck or something, whatever you want to do. Just it's not allowed. And he's like, no problem. I'll just walk back and put it in the truck. He come back and he's like, and he was misunderstanding. He goes, I realize people get offended at that. And I said, well, it's not that. It's against the law. You can't, have campaign any type for any candidate uh, in the precinct. Can't do that. Not supposed to have it within 150 feet, really. But I said, you just have to hide it or something, put it in your pocket, or he's also put it in the truck. That was going on in this video. There was because he throws the hat, but there's something else going on in that video that started all that, or maybe if that was the start, I don't know. But what they told him was like they were not going to let him vote. Like he throws the hat back past the voting area,
Right.
and it got ugly after that. If you watch the video, it got real ugly. There was hands laid
Yeah.
on him, which I'm not doing that. I mean, you
Mhm.
let law enforcement handle that, and it got ugly.
Uh-oh.
And I
Yeah.
would just say that scenario would not have happened in our precinct. Number two is I told you we've got security there, have security all day long, and I'm glad of that. In fact, even sometimes extra security rolling up and checking on us. We would have just let them handle if somebody got upset. We would talk them down. But what I saw in this, there was a couple of people seemed like they were trying to talk this thing down. There were some other people that seemed like they were amping it up.
Yeah.
And honestly, they don't need to be poll workers. They need to be given their walking papers on that today. It's an ugly
Yeah.
video. That should never happen in a
Mm.
voting precinct. Never, never.
No.
Now, you can't control somebody getting mad or whatever, but you can just remind them. Stay calm. You keep your head about you, and if you have to, there's always someone close by that you can get that's of a police nature to deal with that. But there's been a few instances around the country where people have been refused to vote or because they say there's not time or whatever. Anyway, they just need to. This is the stuff that needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
But
It
I,
was
I
ugly.
he called someone a name. He should never done that. Uh, I don't know what all was going on there because it's really hard. It starts, I think, after uh, we missed the first part, like when that first person started video, and I think there was probably something else too going on. I had read that they couldn't find him listed or something. He wanted to vote. He was being told he can't vote, and then the hat thing come up. Honestly, I don't know why he got. I mean, sometimes you just miss it. Obviously, somebody's they coming at you. Several people, you miss something. I have had him get to the poll pad, and you can't. I've told him like you'll have to take the hat off. But usually your greeter catches that. Usually, but anyway, it was an ugly video, man. Really, I hate to see that.
Yeah. Well, now you want voting to be a pleasant experience, not something like that where it becomes uh, what are you going to encounter? Uh, but like you said, we hadn't seen the whole video. We don't know who is at fault or started it or whatever, and it just then the situation just escalates. And you're right, the poll workers. should never have laid hands on him.
I mean, she smacked him. I mean, it was kind of a smack. That's when it really got ugly. I mean, that whole scene then was total chaos.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad is while that's going on, except for the people who may be already in there, there's nobody being checked in, nobody voting. The voting precinct basically has shut down at this point. If you're waiting in line like the lady was who's filming, you're just stuck watching this chaotic scene take over where there's people trying to get in the middle of. I don't know if that one person was his wife, or it looked like a couple people that was with him. They were trying to calm the situation down. There were other people trying to and there were other people trying to, I mean, because he's going after the woman who slapped him or smacked him or whatever. I mean, it got ugly. Like I said, I've never seen nothing like that in a voting precinct.
Wow.
I don't even know where it was at. I didn't dig deep. I just saw it, and I was like, wow. It was just crazy. That's what the lady filming was saying. Wow, wow. You know, they were staying calm. You know, like it just was ugly. It should never happen. Yeah, Michael. I'll try to send you a link if you don't see it. I saw it on. I was working on our stuff on Instagram, and I think that's where I saw it. I think it could have been something else. It could have been another one, but anyway, it's out there.
I think it was Instagram,
but I believe it was an Instagram link.
Uh-huh.
But we had a great day yesterday. Set many first-time voters. No problems. Like I said, I did. That's the only thing I saw was the person that couldn't wear the hat in.
I saw the picture that you sent of how many people were registered and your active voters in Catoosa County and how many had voted. Where'd that number wind up at, or do you know?
I don't have updated numbers.
Okay.
I don't.
I know it was like over half.
It's well over half. And those were at the end of the second week, so that wasn't counting this week. And today is the last day in Georgia to early vote. Tennessee's was yesterday, and after today there'll be no voting until Tuesday.
All right. So all you people out there that need to early vote here in South Georgia, North Georgia, all over the state, if you're going to vote early, today is the day. Get out there and do it.
8 to 5.
Yes. Vote. You read about the down ballot issues, the down ballot stuff that you're going to be voting on. Educate yourself, go and vote your conscience. Gets to do it. We're not going to tell you who to vote for. It's not our job, not our responsibility. That's your choice.
And we realize people are coming in from different states. We're trying to educate ourselves on some of the election, the ways elections are done in other states. We were talking about North Carolina the other night. But in any state, please educate yourself. In Georgia, I don't know if every state has that My Voter page. It's one of the best things that Georgia has going for elections. It tells you everything you need to know. That sample ballot is a gold mine of information because you can get that down and see it. Once again, yesterday, there were people that all they want to do is vote, straight ticket, but they had no idea of those questions again, Rob. No idea. It was really, and some of them were, first-time voters, and they just, they're not used to that. And one person, if you want to check, like, let's say you moved. This is a really good one. I heard this 2 or 3 times yesterday. Some people moved into the state, or some people moved into the county. Anyway, you can go to, because they'll say, well, and maybe they haven't got their license update yet, but we can tell them if it's been changed in the system to their new location. And one guy, he lives in an apartment complex, and it has the address of the apartment complex, but it doesn't have it updated to where he's at. And the guy was advising him, the poll worker, to go on the My Voter page, and you can help get that updated there and check on the status and all that. It's just really good information. Read your ballot. That way everything is going to be on there. A lot of people came in yesterday. I will say said, I've already reviewed the ballot. I'm ready. I'm like, let's go. I was having fun yesterday. I said I was saying to people, "Are you ready to be a Georgia voter?" They said, "Absolutely." I said, "All right, let's go." So
there you go.
Yeah, ID out, phone turned down, and you're ready to get it done. So they were happy.
It's so important, especially on this one. This election here decides which direction the country's going to go. Based on, but do you like Joe Biden? Do you like where we're at now versus do you like where we're at 4 years ago? Um, you know, it's just everybody's got their different opinion on it. Not
Yeah,
everybody, but everybody has their own opinion, and you're entitled to it. Go vote on it.
yeah.
Um,
I was talking to the manager. It was great to work with. I just love working with her. She was thanking me for working and that she really enjoyed me being there. And I told her, I said, I love working with you. You really, you just run this thing so good. It's fun. You got to keep everything right
yeah,
together. We're communicated with. But anyway, early in the day, we were talking before we opened. This was before we opened the poll. We got everything up and going. We were ready probably 30 minutes before opening. And anyway, I was listening to her, and somebody asked her if they thought we would be busy on election day at our own precincts, and she said, absolutely. She said, I would hope, but she said, I've noticed a lot of people that are coming in to early vote. She goes, I've been doing this for a little bit. She goes, I've never saw them. And there's only 2 locations. So she said, I think a lot of people coming in
mhm,
are the people who either have never voted or they've been registered and they just haven't voted in a while. And she said, I'm not seeing the regulars. She said, I think those are the ones that's going to be coming on election day. So we'll see. Michael, good that you got the information updated. Also
yeah,
appreciate that. There's probably
mhm.
that's huge. I don't know the total number of Georgians that are registered to vote, uh, but that seems like that's way more than half. Because I'm trying to remember the total population of Georgia. That's about the greater Atlanta area. The whole, if you look at Atlanta out, that it's got to be more than 50%. I think it's 7 million or 9 million in Georgia. I can't remember. We grow so fast I can't keep up, but that's good info, good intel there. And by the way, a lady come in. We couldn't comment really on it. Again, it's one of those things you have to watch what you say. But a lady come in. She was very excited. She said that one of the news, 3-letter news, said that Georgia was doing the best of any state in America on how many are getting already voted and how smooth it's going. And that's according
Wow.
to that news organization. So um, yeah, you're right, Michael, about removing them from the roll, and that's one that I'm curious about this number because they had one number that said registered voters, one number said active voters, and there was about 7,000 difference in that. So who are these people that are registered still on the book, but they're not active? And I'm curious about that, and that's just in my county, just in my county.
Well, they've got here it says nearly half of Georgia's registered voters have already voted 2 days before the end of early voting.
But remember, registered is not. We won't see all those people. And I think that's where I'm just still learning. This active voter number is probably going to be more. If we're talking about active voter, we're definitely way over halfway. And I would imagine if it's that way in my county, it's probably that way across the state. Is there's a lot of people still registered, they're not voting for whatever reason, or it may be that they got to get that cleaned off. There's people die every day. Think about it,
Yeah,
and they're still on the roll, but they can't vote. Obviously, because they're deceased, or we would
right.
hope that their name doesn't show up as a voter. Then we know something's happened, like what's going on with this. I love the system we have. People gripe about machines, but I will say this: when they come in and check in on the poll pad, unless it's something that a change that's happened just in the last 24 hours or something like that, that
You're there.
system is going to let us know. It's going to let us know real quick what's going on.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it makes it so easy. It does
It
make it easy.
does.
So, um,
I'm
I
still
was,
learning. I had never had anybody come in that they didn't have their ID mailed to them yet, so they had the paper and they brought their passport. And of course, I hadn't done one maybe in over a year, so I just asked the guy next to him, and he's, oh yeah, use the manual. went in and talked. I said, that's right. I just couldn't remember but the guy said, oh, he said, I think there's a scan on the paper. So I said, well, let me look at that. And there was that scan on there that you could still scan just like your regular license, because he had it folded up. So you can do it. You can scan it or do a manual search. We found him. He was right at the top of the list of. We typed in his name, and he was right at the top of the list. And I mean, it was maybe 15 seconds difference, because I was waiting on the guy to ask him next to me while he was working with the voter, just to make sure. And the guy was like, sure, it'll take all the time you need, because I want to make sure I'm doing this right. It's not hard, and I just hadn't dealt with one in a while. And you're like, okay, I know how to do this, but I don't remember, because I'm just used. We're so used to scanning all the IDs in, but it's just different things you run into. But like I said, things run smooth. There was no problems.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's, it's with the modern technology, it's really easy to keep track of this stuff and just scan the ID or whatever. And I can't understand. I cannot wrap my brain around how being required to have an ID to vote is considered racist. I can't get my brain around that. It's so easy to get an ID, a state ID, especially in this state. Why is that an issue? Why is that even a talking point? Do you mean to tell me that they think their constituents are so damaged in the head they can't figure out how to get an ID? I mean, how insulting is that? Really? That just, yeah, that just boggles my mind. I'm sorry.
One of the things about that video that we mentioned is I was reading the comments, and some of the comments were very strange to me. And one of the people who commented said, if we went back to paper ballots, this wouldn't have happened. I don't think it has anything to do with that.
No.
Having a paper ballot would not have changed what was going on in that scene. So I think they were just talking out of ignorance. And I realize people don't like machines, and I get it. But I'm not going to get into that on here, because lawyers are listening, and we have to be careful as co-workers what we say. But just as a citizen, however it is, we'll process that. But in that video, that scene, I don't think that's it. I think that's ignorance right there. But I don't know.
I think it was two belligerent people that came head to head. Yes,
well,
exactly.
I would say it's and there's two schools of thought about that. I mean, if we're talking about a national ID system or state, some people say a national, and I've said that, and I'm okay with it. But because of people's distrust, they would say that be used as a way to keep people from voting. I think that's just conspiracy theory type stuff. We got to clean up the problem. We got to know who's here. And by the way, a lot of people, when we ask them to sign, in Georgia, when you sign, after your ID is scanned in, you sign. And a lot of people are funny about that. And so what we tell them is listen, all you're signing here, because they'll say, what am I signing? It's almost a little bit of an edge about it sometimes. You can detect it. Like, what am I signing? I say, you're signing, and you can say it different ways, but you are signing that you are under law. You're signing that you are who you say you are. With this ID that you have presented, that you are a U.S. citizen, you're eligible to vote in this state, in this county, and that you're saying that. You are signing, you're verifying I am who I am under the penalty of law. And they go, well, yeah, I am who I am. Okay, that's all you're signing.
Yeah.
And so I said that you are you're nobody else, and nobody else can take that identity from you. It's you. And I said, absolutely. So I think that helps them to understand that better, and they sign it. But people are so distrustful now because of all this news out there they get inundated with. You better watch out when you go down there. They're gonna, they're gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
But that's what you tell them because that's what it is. So
And and a lot of people are like, what I can't stand is these fear mongering people that say, "Oh, you better watch when you go down there. They'll mess you up." They've probably never even been there.
probably not.
Guys,
You
don't
can you
go.
can always tell the one who's never been there. They don't have a clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
When they
You
walk
know,
in, they look like deer in the headlights, and they go, and they'll tell you 99% of the time, I've never done this before. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing.
yeah.
Okay, we're here to help. That's what we're here for. And we'll put this is where
Absolutely.
you start. We're here to help you at any point if you need help.
Yes.
Outside of telling you about who to vote for or that, we can't do that. But we're here to assist you to make sure that this goes as smooth as possible. And they relax and they say, thank you. I'm excited. And we'll say, we're excited for you. It's exciting that you're taking part in being, a citizen who's taking part in voting. I mean, I think that's great. So I think I think I just think that's positive stuff, you know.
Right. And I'm gonna.
But I will. Some places do have long lines, so
mm,
be ready. I think always be ready to know that it is possible that you might have to wait. But for the cause of freedom, I don't have any Robert. I don't have any problem standing in line and waiting to be exercise my right as a citizen. After all, there's been some soldiers who stands in the line for me, and many of them are buried in foreign cemeteries,
Yeah.
who ran from delivery boats to the shores of Normandy and were cut to pieces on the beach there. Uh,
Yeah.
they didn't have a choice. They were running headlong into strafing and bullets and bombs and everything else. I have no problem. I have no complaint. And
No.
we just, as citizens, sometimes we just need to mature a little bit, grow up a little bit, stop being so impatient, and realize people are doing the best they can to process through. And you know what? Like I said, that's what I think of. There's not a lot of people lining up to go run into, bullets, but those who do or were drafted, and there were those. God bless them.
Yes.
God bless them.
Yes, Michael. If they purchase alcohol and tobacco, they have to have IDs, and some of them that claim that they don't have IDs are probably buying that stuff.
And
Those are two pretty popular items.
and they have no problem with having showing ID for that
No. So
because they
why?
want that.
Why? Why?
I blame people. Sometimes I blame politicians who are promoting racism, and you hear that they're
And
using it to try to
just
deny you the right to vote.
yes. And here's my next question: just how many people out there don't have the ID? I would like to know that information. How many people out there don't have ID of some type?
There's a whole bunch of them just came to visit with us over the border. I don't know how
Yeah.
many, because you know what? Nobody knows how many.
Mm,
They can't give us a number. We just know it's millions. Think about that, man.
million.
Millions. And nobody knows the number.
Mm,
Nobody knows who these people are. Now,
where
they've
they
got
are.
some data because some people have come over and signed up for their card and all that. At least have some kind of information. Might not be accurate. They have some kind of information. Who has that information? What are they doing with it?
Mm,
Because they sign up for these organizations. So those organizations get paid for everybody that they encounter to give this stuff to, but that information could be totally false. They're just signing up people.
yeah.
They get paid for everyone. They're right there on the border working with them. But who's got this data? Is it accurate data? Don't know. It's messed up. It's just messed up.
So if you just walk in and say, "My name is Jebediah Thakawar," and there's a Jebediah Thakawar on the list, you don't have an ID, but they still going to let you vote anyway. So you're Jebediah Thakawar. You may not look like Jebediah, you may not sound like Jebediah, but you're Jebediah Thakawar at that point. Uh,
Well, and when they got the I-9s, database going. That cleaned up a lot of folks that were working, under their cousins' names, deceased people's names, and everything else in the U.S. I worked with a guy who was a great worker. He stole his brother's information, who was still back in Mexico, and was working into that. And the I-9 is what got him caught. And I've been so he told everybody he was gone the night before. He said in the morning the gig is up. He told people he worked with. He said, I've got to show my documentation in the morning. It's not going to match up.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I'll be gone. He said, I'll try to make it back. He said, it's my brother's information. He's in Mexico. I remember that. And many years ago. So, yeah.
Let's see here. Which states? It looks like that today is the last day of early voting because we go around nationwide. Where'd you go?
You keep talking. You're on there.
Okay. It looks like the states that will be ending early voting will be Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Idaho, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Texas, and Utah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states that are ending early voting today. So if you need to get out there, if you're in one of those states, get out there and do it. Get out there and vote. There's a lot of key down ballot races in these states as well, especially in Arizona and Texas. So these are very important, also races that are in this. So let me call those states out again. If you live in one of them, go and you got an early vote and you're not waiting and you need to vote before Tuesday. Here they are. It's Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Idaho, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Texas, and Utah. Y'all get out there. If you have to early vote, get out there and do it if you're not waiting for the day of. So, man, I know for a lot of people, my wife and I voted early, and it's easy for us. It's easier. It takes a lot of headache out of it and wondering and stuff like that. And Jenny had a lady say, "Why'd you vote early?" But why? Like she'd never heard of such.
I was talking about this yesterday early in the precinct, and people agreed with me. I early vote. The only reason I early vote is because it just makes it easier on election day. I'm very busy on election day as assistant manager at my precinct. I could do it, but I really want that out of the way. There is something special about voting on election day. I'd always done it. I've always waited. I resisted voting early because it's tradition for me. I like the idea of going out on election day. I would start my day by going and vote. I would go to work, and when I come in, I'm glued to the TV watching returns till early in the morning. And but since I've started doing this, it just made it easier. Or if we were going to be out of town or something, then I'd just go early vote. But there is this, I don't know, it's just something about voting on election day, and I get it, and a lot of people look forward to that, and they've always done that. So for them, it's that day, and the other just I don't know, it's you got it done, but it's not the same in a sense. It counts the same, but it's just different. It's something deep within your gut. It just means a lot to go on election day. And I get it. I do.
Yeah, but I got to go when I can go.
Well, that's what I mean. There's reasons why. I'm just saying why a lot of people are waiting till election day.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't
I
talking
would
about your
like to wait
situation.
for election day, but it's. I want to make sure my vote is in there. And here's another thought on what you just brought out, and I'm going to put this out to everybody too. I know in my house, my wife goes to bed. She's not sitting up for this garbage. She's going to go to bed. She ain't watching it. She go to bed. But, she has to go to work next day. I stay up and watch it. I'll watch it just as late as I possibly can. And I've been doing it, usually by myself on my phone or on the computer, and I'm watching as the tallies start coming in, they start checking off which states are going to what person and all that good stuff. And generally I do it alone. I get all excited by myself or I get depressed by myself. You don't have to do it by yourself this year.
That's right.
I'm going to start us off with a special guest, and Dave's going to join in as soon as he gets done at his poll. You got company. Jump in here with us on election night. We'll kick down. We're going to keep track. We're going to try to keep the information current, and we're going to let all y'all know about it as we go along. Any news, anything other. We'll maybe have some laugh and some other special guests. And we'll all do it together. Y'all are more than welcome to join us here. We'd be glad to have you, and we'll keep you awake, or try to. We could have a coffee alarm set up. Hey, you need to go get more coffee now.
I reached out and we'll over the weekend we're going to reach out to some folks, and we won't get them all, but we're going to reach out. I reached out to a local school board member running to see if they'll come on one of our lives.
Yeah.
Beginning today, even have not heard back. Then we'll try to reach out to some more folks, get them to pop in and say something.
Just as a thought, because he said he'd do it anytime. Well, we reach back out to Mitchell Horner, see if he'll join us for a little while Tuesday night. That would be awesome. And get his take.
It just depends. Now, some of them may be late. He might can because we'll be coming in a little later. I'm sure he will be out set up somewhere at probably one of the main election places, and they like to get out. They like to get out and greet people as they come and vote. Before they cross the street or whatever. But hopefully he can. Hopefully can find time to get him to pop in. So we'll reach out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. I'd like to have his recap on everything. I mean, he's very smart, man. I enjoyed talking with him. He's not my rep. He's your rep. But I've tried to get a hold of my rep, and I'm still going to work on trying to get him on the show.
Oh, we got some folks that didn't give us time of day, we'll say.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. The day is coming when you're going to be knocking on our door.
Yeah.
That day's coming. Yeah. It's okay. We forgive you. You throw us to the trash heap. We're just old garbage, Rob. We're just old garbage. But we're not even on the top heap of the garbage. But we're climbing through, man. We're climbing through.
Yeah, we're clawing our way through that garbage. We got our reflective vest on. We're clawing our way through the garbage. And next year or two, we'll be driving through that thing in a garbage truck like big dog.
We're not just another podcast, brother. We're climbing up. We're climbing to the top.
That's right.
The numbers are climbing. Look, they'll be coming to us.
Look, Dave is smart. Okay, look at the size of the head. Can you imagine the size of the brain that is in that head?
The brain is shrinking.
No, the head's still growing. So the amount of brains in it, and look at these good looks. Come on, all this clickbait over here, all the smarts over there. Come on, we got this. We're gonna be driving that garbage truck right through there. I'm telling you, Dave. You get what? Have you ever seen the cartoon Pinky and the Brain?
I don't think so.
Where there's two laboratory mice, and one's like Orson Welles, and he's got this great big head on the little bitty body. Kind of reminds me of you, huh?
Well, I'm glad I remind you of something. I really am.
There's lots more things that you don't remind me of.
We always need to be reminded of, remind people of something.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I do. And the good thing is people don't forget me. They know who I am. So the more we get out there, the more they're going to come our way. And folks, if you and it doesn't matter where you're from, we are in Georgia. We don't care. I mean, we'll talk politics and Hawaii if you want to pop in. I mean, we're not intended to be Georgia only. We do things. If you have we're going to do some Christmas card kind of things on the screen for businesses and churches and different things, even politicians if they want. If you'd like to be included, just send us an email. We'll get you information up, put a nice Christmas scene behind it, and we're hoping to run those through December. So we'll be putting those together, and we're in November now. We have made it to November 1st.
It's November 1. Happy
Yeah.
November.
So we will put those
Whoa,
together.
this year is just flown by. What is up with that? No, when I was a kid, it seemed like it took it forever for a year to go by. A year was a long time. It seems like the older we get, the faster they go. What is up with that?
Getting closer to Jesus, baby. Closer to Jesus.
Closer to Jesus. Now, I could go with that. That'd be nice. No.
By the way, I was talking to Cowboy Cook last night. He come on the show, or he come in the show on the chat, but he said he had to run Walmart with Mama, and he messaged back and said it was like a ghost town. Said people Walmart was like empty. I never thought you'd see that, but he said I guess everybody out doing the Halloween things, and they weren't at the Walmart.
On our way home, we stopped by at the Walmart in Bainbridge, and it still had some people in it, but there was a lot of folks dressed up. I started dressed up as a garbage man, but I couldn't find one of them reflective vests. I was going to do it too.
You don't even have to have that. I saw people dress up as garbage men. They actually took garbage bags and wrapped around them and had garbage sticking out. That's a whole other level. I'm just garbage. I'm just a pile of garbage.
It's garbage.
I tell you, that comment is catching fire. And Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, billionaire Mark Cuban, he's poured gasoline on the fire and basically dissed all women that support conservative values as not intelligent. He's trying to backtrack that. Too late, brother. You ran that big old. He's got a big old head too. That big old head, that big old mouth, and you've ran your mouth now. So you just take it because you put it out there, and you think you're so. And like Trump said, he's not very smart. He may be, he says dumb things, and you know what? Just keep on. The more you open your mouth, the more you show people just how you think about them.
Absolutely,
they're not intelligent. No, it's no intelligent women. He said now he's trying to say, I just meant that he don't have them around him. Well, the problem is he has plenty of intelligent and strong women that are around him. It's just a slap to all those people.
Yeah, and speaking along that lines about, hey, you threw it out there, you said it, now deal with it. This was one I saw this morning. They're changed, and I got this off. I'm going to go ahead and say where I got this from. I got it from Fox News, and I'll give them credit for the story. But it says that they're walking. They went through, and the stenographers that record these informations and stuff, and these speeches and what he says. I mean, it goes into the National Archives.
Yeah, they violated.
They changed it. It says here the White House altered the transcript of his controversial garbage comment despite concerns of the stenographers. So, the stenographers were like, no, that's not right. They changed it anyway.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Yeah, but they did it. But yeah. Now, will they go through and change anything that Trump said? No. It's two different systems for this country. You'll never hear nothing else about that.
By the way, that was me yesterday, early voting, playing along, and some of the ladies dressed up, and I'm getting my hands spanked. We were having some fun there, so that was me yesterday at early voting, and we were taking some pictures out there, and there was a just say this real quick. There was a kid who saw her dressed like that, and he was dressed up in his Halloween outfit already. He made his mom turn around and come down there, and he walks up and he wanted to know if she was a real nun, and he just. But so she goes out in the car and talks to him. Was talking to his mom and said, "Are you a registered voter?" I love how she stayed, just stayed on target. And the lady said, "No, I'm not registered to vote." And maybe that will impress upon her the reason to get let's get registered. I mean,
Yeah.
you pulled up to a voting precinct. You're showing your kids this, but hopefully that'll at least tell the kids the importance of voting or something. That they came to a voting precinct and mom had to admit she wasn't a voter. But we had some fun yesterday. It was a fun day. Like I said, we had people dressed up in different things. It was pretty cool.
You know, it'd be funny if she goes up. Yes. Are you a registered voter? It's divine and heavenly to vote. And
Michael, they do twist around what he says. Trump says the difference is here that was said in anything that the president says. They once he said it, they can't change that. Or for the archive part, they can't because this was their official release. I think that they were, transcript. They changed the transcript. That is illegal. They can
yeah,
get on there and try to twist words all day long for them and anybody else. But this is what he said. The official transcript. They tried to change that
yes,
because they were coming out and saying that that's not what he said, but that is what he said. So they could say that all day long. That's not a problem. But they were the official transcript is because everything the president does goes into archives. I mean everything.
yeah,
That's like the gifts, and all presidents have gotten in trouble trying to keep gifts. That those gifts are not for that person to keep. That's for the office of president. You can't take those things home. You get in trouble for that, and many
yes,
presidents have. It's not your personal gift to take and do whatever you want. So even though like I said, people say they do whatever they want. There are entities that will say no, you're not doing that. There are entities that say no, this is what we're going to do. This is you're not do this. So they're making them going to make them clean that up. So good for them. They got a job to do. You know?
hmm
I love it. Don't let them
oh
give
my
away to
goodness.
that mess. I mean, if you've said it, you said it. You got to own it. But yeah, he sure was on national TV.
Hmm.
He
Yes,
sure
he
was.
was.
Garbage. Scranton. He always likes to throw in Scranton. Scranton.
Yeah,
When I was in Scranton,
Ratton. I was a garbage man. No, he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that. So he's been
I still
everything else.
say, I still say, I still say, President and Melania, they should pull up in the garbage truck to vote.
Yes,
I would love that. I would love that.
I can
Yeah,
see
we're
him run
coming to
around,
vote.
help her out.
Just because I know it would make the lib's head explode.
Yes,
Just make their head explode. You know what? That Trump derangement syndrome is so real.
it's real. It's real.
Oh, I seen a guy on the social media. What a sad guy.
Yeah.
His bio on his social media. I don't remember which one it was, but his bio said, "I scream at all Trump supporters," and he goes, "Yeah, TDS is real," like bragging, Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, well, you might scream at the wrong one, brother,
Yeah.
brother man.
Uh,
That you better watch doing that." But like that lady screaming at that kid at that campaign thing. You ain't screaming at my kid like that.
yeah. You
I'll
know,
just say that. I'll just say it like that. I'm not going to elaborate. You ain't screaming at my kiddo like that.
mm-mm,
Of course, I wouldn't have been
mm-mm.
there, but wherever we
Yeah,
be, you're not doing that.
that's just it. Here's one of the things that really annoy me and aggravate me. You know, you give and you get. All right, that is a standard thing. You give respect if you want respect, and it seems like the far left now demand respect on everything, and they have no respect for anybody else. So they demand what they won't give. I'm not going to be a part of that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just not. Respect me. I'm a who, they, them, what, if, whatevers. And you must respect me, and I'm not going to respect your right to believe that there's only two sexes. But you're going to respect my wishes. The Green New Deal. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It's going to save the world. And how you must respect me for believing that. But even though you don't believe that, you must respect me. And, our opinion may be, well, it's the biggest drain of money that you could possibly have. It's stupid. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're not going to respect your opinion. But you darn well better respect ours. We got to have guys in women's sports. They think they're women. You better respect our opinion. Well, we're not going to respect your derangement. There's medical conditions that cause these kind of things and stuff. It's been confirmed. Hey, respect us, respect our thoughts, respect our decisions. We're not going to respect yours. Hogwash.
I don't have to respect anything anybody says. What I respect is their right to say it.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. That's it. I don't have to respect anything that somebody says, but I will respect their right to say it. I may hate it. I may despise it. I may cringe at it, but I because that's freedom. I just walk away. I just walk away.
But know what?
There's a good reason to cross the street sometimes in America.
Yeah.
Look out ahead, see the trouble coming, just cross the street. You don't need it. You can't win that argument anyway. Let them be who they are. They're just looking to make a scene anyway. Move on. I'm not one to stand and argue with people anyway. You're not going to change anybody's mind. Let them be.
Yeah.
I don't show up at protest events or nothing like that. Not much going to be gained from it. Bunch of people screaming.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think we have walked away from this issue far too long, and we do because you're right. It just makes a scene. But I really think that at some point in time, we're going to have to start standing up and say, no, if you want respect, give respect. You're not respecting me. Why would I respect you? There comes a point in time where we're going to have to stand up and say that. And it's not far away, or they're going to run all over us. Because, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. There's old mama saying. Yeah. So I don't know, Dave. There's a lot of stuff out there right now it's one-sided. And our political system's becoming one-sided. Our views that are acceptable in society have become one-sided. And it's our news organizations are one-sided, minus one or two, and it's all pushed to one side. And we got to stand up. And this election may be one of our last chances to stand up. We've got to do it.
Well, I think it is a moment, and we need to make. And there's not, in some cases, there is no good choice, but it is a moment. And I would just say, and I always have hope, because hope is found in Christ. But I will say this: I think the moral decline of America is going to continue unless people get their hearts right. It's just slowly taking over. But really, I still say this country is more. Still more of the country is still right values than is not. It's just what's painted in media. Media likes to paint that picture and make you think that you're outnumbered and we're pushing you to the side. First, you got to elect the right leaders, because our leaders pass laws. We elect people to do that. So you got to elect the right people. All these people that you don't like, well, somebody's voting them in.
Yeah.
Got to question those people, because if they're pleasing their constituency, that's why they're there. They didn't get there on their own. Somebody pushed them up. So, but you do that by voting, because if 30% of the people or less are choosing what 100% of the people have rights to. Think about that.
Right. Now,
Sometimes less than 30% of America is choosing how this country goes for everybody.
and I would like to throw this challenge out there to all of our listeners and all the way across America. Let's have a weekend of prayer leading into this election. Let's stop at noon on today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. Take a few minutes at noon and pray for our country. Pray for the people getting out there to vote. Uh, let's just have 4 days of prayer leading up to this election. What do you think, Dave? Can we push that? Is that something we can get behind here?
Oh, we can always do prayer. I just want to say, I mean, this is groundbreaking news. It's in the chat right now. Now we know why Michael stays with us so much, because he stands up real weirdos all day long. Hey, we're weird kind of guys.
Against the real weirdos.
I know he's here to stand up against us. We're kind of weirdo.
Oh.
Yeah, we're kind of weirdos.
Yeah.
Now we know why he's here. Thanks.
Yeah.
We're wild and weird and crazy guys.
This is Steve Martin. All right, so let's see if we can kick that movement off today. Let's start at 12 o'clock. Just bow your head just for a few seconds and pray for this country and the elections, the candidates, and pray that people get out and vote. I don't think he was referring
so he agreed that we're weirdos. He just said the real weirdos. Does that mean we're fake weirdos? There's a lot to break down here, I mean,
my mama told me not to do anything halfway, and my granddaddy said, if any way I do it, just don't do it. I'm a real weirdo, okay? I have put my full into it. What do you mean, not y'all? Oh, you can't back up now. We're the real deal. We'll own it, dude. We'll own it. We'll wear our garbage bags and we'll own this thing, dude. We got it.
Oh man.
Mama, wait. Mama always said that weird is as weird does.
We're wild and crazy, not weird.
Wild and crazy guy. Okay. Yeah. Mama always told me life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. My nose is plugged up this morning. I can't do my voices at all. Oh, my goodness. Well, it looks like, just a quick weather forecast here for South Georgia. It looks like there is now pretty much no rain in the forecast for the next 10 days. It looked like there was going to be yesterday, but they took it out.
Well, we had rain, some rain last night, so we got a little bit of that rain. By the way, if you didn't see last night's football game, the Thursday night prime NFL special, you missed one of the greatest catches ever in the game. And he really made two catches, and the Jets, and I'm for the Texans, but the Jets came back and won. And Aaron Rodgers and throwing to Garrett Wilson, the first touchdown was a one-handed thing of beauty that he pulled in. I mean, Rodgers released that as he was fixing to get crunched, and it went right over. The defender went for the interception or tip it away. He didn't get it. A one-handed beauty. But go back, review that catch. It had to be reviewed. They ruled him out at first. It's not only a thing of beauty, the fact that he still got able to get the touchdown. He's got 1 foot in. He's going down, and they determined that his shin did land because he had 1 foot down. But then as he's going down, he gets the shin down before his knee touches out. They gave him the touchdown. It's going to be a highlight reel of all time for the NFL.
Wow.
Garrett Wilson is one of the best hands people in NFL right now. I've always known I've been watching this young man. He's a young player. He played at Ohio State, I believe. There's a lot of them that are really good. This guy stands out. And if you haven't seen that, it's a thing of beauty. I mean,
I love it. Watch that.
Beautiful. Late game. Just wow. That one's going to get showed. It's compared to some other recent, in the last few years, recent one-handed grabs where they're contorting their body. I mean, just a thing of beauty. I mean, just a thing of beauty. I'm so glad he still got. It was great. Even if he had got a touchdown, people are like, "Wow!" And the fact that he got it anyway solidifies it as one of the best, I think, of all time. Just an amazing catch. Way to go.
Yes.
Salute you this morning. By the way, shout out to Slap Out Oklahoma. Slap Out Oklahoma. StreamYard's having trouble this past hour. They sent a message you can't upload a slide or something, so I didn't try to do it. They said he was working on it to get it fixed. But apparently a guy owned a store. He wanted to call his store Nah, but people said it was like somebody would say it was slap. They were slap out of stuff. I've heard that before. Well, he one side of the road, he said this is Nah store, and the other people said, well, on the other side of the train tracks or whatever, we're going to still call it slap out. I think the storm came through and took out his sign, so he just went with it. It's like 10 people. It's an unincorporated area. Store's still there. Slap Out Oklahoma. Salute to you this morning.
Absolutely. Michael, do not run off. You made a comment there. You two know which restroom to use, and we do. The empty one.
You have a great day too, Michael.
You have a great one, Bubba. We use the empty restroom with the boy sign on it.
or the restroom that is a one in, one out. It's for whomever. If I can go in there by myself and lock the door, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
know which one to use.
We do know which one to use.
The empty one.
And we know to crumple our biscuit. Crumple. Yes, got it in.
No, you don't crumple biscuits.
Seated out front porch talking. Guess what? It's time. We got the backwoods cryptids. We're going to talk all things Bigfoot, cryptids, skinwalkers, dogmen. Who knows, Rob? We might even talk about your favorite character.
The Chupacabra, Dave.
Maybe. Crumple. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Closing words this morning on the Southern Fried Podcast Morning Show.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.